You got to put that lippy, right? You really
Eh,
do.
for
You know,
you, I put makeup on for you,
just for me, the actual bathe as well, right?
and I bathed. Mike
There
gets
you
so
go.
mad at me. Mike gets so mad at me. He's like, "Did you bathe yet?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "No, you didn't. You're looking mighty greasy."
Well, talking about the individual, I think he just popped in the chat. He just wants to be number one, the first one. Isn't that my gosh, Renner? You never learn your lesson, do
Oh
you?
my god, is he? Is he really? Oh my gosh, look at this. Am I early? Oh girl.
Right. He was always competing. Mary Baker was the first one last time. So I think he was like, I'm going to get Mary Baker. She's not going to beat me this time. I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. You guys so amazing. But anyhow, how has your week been, Madame? You've been MIA.
I know. This is what happens when you have your own business and you actually have to do a lot of the work that apparently you sold. So apparently, like my clients want me to actually do things now. Like I don't understand why. I'm like, wait, you don't just give me money? Like I just like that part of the business. But apparently there's this thing called execution. So I've been really heads down, just making
Mm.
sure I got a lot of stuff ready to go and template it out and ready to go for clients like yourself to produce amazing
Oh,
content to grow their
oh,
brand and community.
yes, absolutely. I am so, like I said, it's one of those things that I was just like, man, Sia, it really has been MIA. It's she's not just a phone call away just for today. But, like you said, it is part as your business grows, as you get more projects, as you get all the beautiful things that this community is contributing, right? You start getting a lot of business, and I enjoy that part of seeing you collaborate and actually work in different projects. It's always awesome. But anyhow, who's in the comments? I want to say some shout
You
outs.
want you want
Always
you want
do.
comments happening, lady? Okay, we shall do.
Yes.
We shall. Let me change the graphics up here. So let us pull up the wonderful chatty McChat. So so while we're getting the streams to synchronize with the chats in play here, here we go.
Mhm.
We've got some folks. Oh, look,
Yay, Gabe!
Gabe. Gabe in the
Hi.
hizzy.
Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you in forever. We miss you. I hope you're coming back soon. We'll see.
Okay, full disclosure for me to make fun and tease him. Okay, so I've been like in Dallas for the longest time. I'm like, Gabe, let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. And he's like, yeah,
Mhm.
sure. And then every single time, nope, I'm busy. Nope, I'm too busy for you. Jody, who just moved out here,
Mm.
suddenly says once, hey, I'd like a meetup. And Gabe's like, I'm there. And I'm like, dude, what am I, mincemeat? Just saying, Gabe, you're not feeling the
Wow.
love.
Agave, you're gonna get put in a doghouse, boo. You have to show Sia some love. Come on now.
Not feeling no love, nowhere. Just
Oh
saying.
my goodness. Well, I mean, it would be nice, like I said, once we go up there again to all meet up. I always love my Dallas crew. You guys are always popping. It's always so awesome. So, who else we got in the house? Michelle Giuliano. Let us know where you're tuning in from, Michelle. It's like it's
I think
Michelle, right?
yeah, and
Or is it
Constance actually I think tagged us on Juliana's post this morning. So thank you so much for joining.
Yay! Yay! Thank you so much for joining for sure. So what else we got? You look
I
so clean
tried.
and pretty. Yay! Only for me, Michael. Only for me. Okay. So don't even go there. She gets so pretty just for me. But who's this? Berat? Birinci? Birinci?
Birinci. I like that. If we're saying that correct, please let us know because I
I
love cool
hope
names.
so. Johanna. Hello, darling. I love your painting this past Tuesday. It was so beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Dean LeBay. He tuned in last
Potato.
time. A
He's a
potato.
resident potato man. I love it.
Ashif Haji. Hello, friend. Nice to see you here again. You're always such a cheerful supporter. We appreciate you so much.
We
So tell
absolutely
me
do.
anything new that's been happening with you, Madame, besides being, busy all the time. Anything that's popping.
Well,
Sandra.
I will say this much, guys. Like, I think as all entrepreneurs, we struggle with our work. Like I said, I was jokingly, half joking of like, oh crap, people are paying me to do work. I actually have to work now, but and not just socialize and have fun. I thought it was funny because I was looking forward to today's conversation because I know we're gonna pull this up many times, but I was feeling very anxious this week, and so there was a lot of cool little things that we'll talk about in a little bit. But just want you to know what cool thing. I actually opened the book when in real time, not just reading things like, you want to support your friends and you want to like talk about things theoretically. I actually applied quite a few things today. So we'll talk about that. But I mean, opportunity is abundant. I've been given many wonderful opportunities to look at things and say, hey, is this something that we can do? And I just want to let you know, Raquel, like you've been on my mind because with opportunity, there's opportunity to grow and carry and bring everyone around you up with you. So I cannot talk about it directly right now. It's all NDA stuff at the moment. But let's just say everybody on LinkedIn that's listening, there is a lot of activity and hopefully we can do all ships rise with the tide. So thank you for asking because in the next few weeks, I think we're going to have to revisit this question. So thank you.
Wonderful. Well, that's a wonderful thing. Like I said, all like you said, the good juju, the good vibes, and the Tazi. Hey, Janice. Thank you so much for stopping by. Sia's been enjoying her Tazi for sure. Tell us how it's been working with your back, girl.
Girl, it's amazing. So what I love about this Tausi, guys, this pillow that I have, so it's actually, you could take out this pillow, it's adjustable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use it as a neck support. You can use a neck support. So you can actually hang it over. So for those that travel a lot, it's like a perfect little headrest and nook. I've just been using it for my lumbar support for my back here, just because I sit on my way longer than I probably should.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been amazing. You guys, I really highly recommend it. And I do know that Janice is absolutely happy to work with us, obviously, as being part of the Hounds group. I believe she has a promo out through the Hounds of Business. And Janice,
Mm-hmm.
forgive me, can you do it right in the comment what the Hounds of Business discount friends and family program promotional rate is,
Yes.
please? I believe
Yes.
it's good for today too. And if not, could you make it
Yeah.
good for today too?
Can you honor it pretty please, Janice? Thank you so much, sweetheart. We definitely appreciate that. And I know it's saving Sia's back and it sure will help save so many others' backs as well. So let's make it count, right, y'all? Constance, are you an executioner?
I thought that was funny. I've been called many different things, lady. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we roll the intro, Madame Sia, I really do
Yes.
want to highlight one individual who just came on the in the comments. I saw her name pop up, and we get very serious about this in the situation with the layoffs and everything that is going on. But her name is Sandra Lima. She's out in the UK, so I saw her name, and thank you so much for tuning in and being such a support. I love you so much. But she's out looking for a new position. So please, if there's a recruited and somewhere in the comments, or if when you watch the replay, please reach out to Sandra Lima. She's an amazing individual. She's looking for, I believe, it's an executive position, assistant position, and yeah, so just a lot of horror stories that are coming out of all these job seekers and their process. But if we can definitely get her a recruiter or get her paired up with somebody who can actually do the thing and help out individuals, I would truly appreciate it. Sending you lots of love and good vibes, love. Do not despair, okay? Do not lose hope. All right, we got you. All
I'm
right.
so God, I was
Mhm.
like trying to type it in your like while you're talking because you're so damn fluid. But okay, there you go.
Sandra Lima.
I'm a little
Yes.
delayed. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I know of Kevin Grunewald earlier was giving her some pointers and stuff like that. So I just hope that it does, something pops up for her. So we got you, girl. I got you in my heart and in my mind. Okay, I love you. So all right. Well, let's go ahead. Hmm.
I was just gonna say before you roll, Sandra, put your LinkedIn and everyone that's in the comments right now. If you want to if you would like to connect with anyone, please, please, please do. I'm so hella behind on the comments, you guys, as always. So if I'm not seeing your comments, just start loading up and I'll add it. And if you are looking, for those that are looking, tell us who you are, where you're located, and what you're looking to do. Whatever you
Hmm.
do, though, please don't pitch. Just simply give me the basics so we can like share it. So we're not like writing everyone's
Right. And
resume up here, right?
if we can do it live, we'll do it. Okay. So just keep it short and concise, guys. We'll try to help as many as we can. Okay. All right, my
Awesome.
love. Well, let's go ahead. We're almost 10 minutes in. Roll intro.
Dude, we always do that. Sorry. All right, let's do this.
Hey y'all, welcome to my corner. This is your girl Raquel, aka Raki. Step into our world of connections where I'm a proud Hounds of Business Pack leader, which is a community of entrepreneurs committed to sharing positivity, growing together, and never forgetting to inject some fun. Get to know amazing people in this safe space, so come and join me in my connection corner.
I'm dancing. I'm
I know you
dancing.
make me every time. I'm like, we should go dancing tonight. Like I do love your intro song. It's just kind of vibey.
It is. And that's why I guess, it really works well with what I got going on. It's just my vibe. It's just me. So we chose well. I give you that for sure. Brilliant Being Media News and stuff. So tell us a little bit about our sponsors, starting with Brilliant Being Media. Sia.
You know, I still have to make a graphic. I keep forgetting. Ooh, I am the best self promoter ever. You know what it is? It's like I think I keep saying it. It's like the elves and the shoemaker, right? Like the shoemaker's children have no shoes. So basic Brilliant Bee Media, all we do is create digital content to help you augment your brand, your personality, credibility, help you build your community in whatever format that might be, whether it's a podcast, live stream, or any of the wonderful short mediums that social media platforms require. We also do a lot of social media engagement and growth, as well as other augmented services cater to your needs. I'm getting better, Mike.
Bam. Boom.
Getting better at my
I'm just
pitch.
kidding. Yes, you are. I love it. I love it. Another one of our dear and to our hearts, Mike Asherbanner and the House of Business Happy Hour Pack. The leader, he's also another one of the sponsors. So, Mike, sending you so much love as always. You are literally the one gem who started all of this in the community that is growing incessantly, and I love it. Everybody's just trying to branch off and really duplicate all the efforts of what this community fundamentally is about, right? Which is loving, kindness, joy, sharing, collaborating, connecting, all the beautiful feelings in the world. So, Mike Asherbanner, thank you so much for being an amazing human being. We love you. That's why you get so much love from us. So
Well,
I love it.
we wouldn't hear the end of it if we didn't give him a little love.
Oh my God, tell me about it. He's like, oh, they didn't mention me. Well, how come they didn't mention me? Oh, come on, boo. You know you're always going to be mentioned.
Oh my, I swear to God, he's like, well, what about me? He's like, that friend in junior high school, kindergarten. What about me? It's like, dude, just because we're talking to others doesn't mean we don't love you. It's like that
Right.
saying, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. I know I'm
Oh,
not
I've
going to sing
never
it.
heard that one.
Oh, really?
That's new
Yeah.
to me. But then I lived under a rock for so long, Tia. So,
Well, you
so
also
one
are
of
not
those.
from here, so it's okay.
Yes, yes. I'm not from here. So, yes, that's a question. That's a quick question. Does anybody know where I'm from? Chime in the comments. I've said it a lot of times, but I want to see if people are listening. Where am I from originally? Which country?
Oh.
Okay. So, please chime in the comments. Whoever guesses it right first will get a little prize. We'll see what that prize is. I'll figure it out towards the end. But anyhow, so our last sponsor of the evening before this, before we roll into our guests, which is patiently waiting in the back, Michael Gale from M. Gale's Outdoor Ventures. Look at this, Michael Gale, our big, huge teddy bear, as I call him. He's an amazing individual. Amazing individual, just keeping us fit and wanting the best holistically speaking for our health. So,
Yes.
that's mindset, that's physicality, but oh my gosh, he's like a polar bear out there in like minus degree weather, just wearing a t-shirt. Jeez.
Yeah, well, okay, look, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have done that little polar bear plunge things last month. And admit it, girl, we all felt really damn good afterwards. Like we were in like a zone. We were all like Jody Lamb, you and me were just almost like bonded over that experience. It was really cool. I highly recommend everyone.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely connect with Michael, reach out to him. He's amazing. He also does Pilates. And my gosh, girl, that session that we had, the primer, it was amazing. I was sore the next day. It was insane. And so I've been working with Michael ever since then. We have so many little things planned out. He's just an amazing individual. He's done it all. He was in the Marines. He did so many things right in life.
For sure. And I was going to say, we need to congratulate you guys. Everyone, round of applause. Everyone, dadgonna take a
Yes.
sip in his honor. He
Yes.
just did a 35-mile torture
Berkey.
ski, burpee, whatever
Mm-hmm.
the hell
Mm-hmm.
does that mean, by the way? I just thought 35 miles
35.
is enough.
Yeah, skiing 35 miles, man. That is insane. I mean, commendable. You're amazing, Michael Gale. Congratulations on finishing that. And definitely you are an example and the epitome of what you preach. So thank you so much. So I think one person did get already the answer before I get
What?
sidetracked.
Wait, hold up. Wait. I wait. I want like everyone to like. I want to see these guesses because I was busy trying to be a good girl.
I
What?
should have I should have what is it? I should have warned that it doesn't, for those who are in the hounds, it doesn't count for y'all. It's only for other people who are not.
No.
So yes, so we have one individual who already has the answer correct. So we'll go back to him at the end of the show. Okay.
Okay. Well, I know since I know the answer, I will keep that one quiet. So everyone keep answering because I will pull it up shortly because I do know we're so bad about this. Why don't we bring in our illustrious
I
guest
know
of the
we're
day?
at the 15-minute mark, but anyhow, so I want to make sure that everybody's ready for this treat that we're about to have. This amazing individual. I am just so honored that she's here. One of the guests, literally a golden, platinum, however you want to call it. But welcome to the show, Stephanie Dalfonzo.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm the one who's honored to be with you guys. This is absolutely fabulous. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be here at a short notice, as we always do things. But this is the beauty of it, right?
Yep.
We roll with the flow, and you definitely have the flow. I can say that, Stephanie, because you brought such calm to my life, and it's so amazing. So, tell us a little bit about who Stephanie Delfonso is as a person, and then let us know what you do professionally.
Okay. As a person, nature, dogs, good food. Um, I do nature walks, and Michael Gale knows this because we've chatted about. First of all, his 35 miles in his pictures of him in the short sleeves and the shorts on the snow. Ah! But he knows I am out walking in nature every single day, and that is something that I would really recommend. If you don't, even if you can't do it every day, get out in nature, because that is one of the things that I do. That's like, sacrosanct. I just recently was invited to do something at 8 o'clock in the morning, like for 8 weeks in a row. And I declined. I said, oh, thank you, but I've got my routine. And she was like, wow, those are serious boundaries, but that's what feeds me. And I have to feed my soul, and I've got to walk my talk. I made a mistake the other day, and instead of flipping out about it, it was like, okay, I made a mistake. Let me own up to it. And I wasn't in the corner crying. So walking in nature. And P.S. side note here, I saw a study this week that was like, oh my gosh, they said 11 minutes of moderate exercise a day has huge effects on your health. And so when we have better physical health, we have better mental health too. So just 11 minutes a day. Like, you can find 11 minutes a day, even if it's watching TV and walking in place. So the other thing is my doggies. I've got Maggie, the love of my life. She's down here sleeping and snoring. But also, I'm a foodie. I don't watch cooking shows. I never have, but I love to cook good food. And I love, that's like, that's a way of showing love is, when you feed people, and you're making it with love. So those are the things that are like, not professional, but that's really who I am, is walking in nature. And we're so blessed. I live one house away from a reservoir. We see there's bald eagles there, there's hawks, there's geese and ducks, there's foxes. We actually had a bear in our backyard this summer, which was a little scary, but we just scooted right back in. So, and I see somebody who's saying, I love journaling, praying, exercising, meditation. Yes, Michelle. Oh my gosh. I want to see more of this in the chat of, what you're actually doing to help yourself keep calm.
Yes. Oh my God. So you could tell me it's 11 minutes and not 60 minutes as they have us believe that we have to be in a treadmill for 60 minutes.
Well, and it's really interesting because, when someone will come to me and they are wanting to lose weight, which is not a term that I use. I told you before, a lot of people did the pandemic 15, right? They put 15 or more pounds on. And so then they want to lose weight. Well, I dropped 40 pounds in the past several years. I did not lose it because I'm not playing lost and found. It's a linguistic thing, but if you think about it, if you lose your keys, what do? You go looking to find them. So if you want to lose weight, drop weight, and you have no exercise in place, and then, well, the government says 60 minutes a day, 60 minutes on the treadmill, you're not going to do it. Right. So I'm like, okay, what's the next smallest thing you can do? Oh, can you march in place as you're watching TV at night? Can you get a couple of cans of soup from your cupboard and use those as weights? There's sneaky little ways to get it in there and then get it started. Before I launch into it, I'll ask you if you into some of the brain rewiring and how that helps us make and keep great habits.
Wow, that's so amazing. I mean, I don't know if you're already getting into that Zenny zone, but I know I am just listening to her speak. So that's just amazing. Thank you so much for sharing who you are as a person and knowing the back end, how Stephanie is. But now getting us to the actual professional, your career. What is it that you do? And please explain it for us because to me, I was just like, what is
I
that?
know. It's like, what the heck? Okay, so
Yes.
first of all, I really want to help you get into the zone. So I'm going to turn on my hypno voice and see, hopefully nobody's driving as they're listening to this. But so I drop into that because I was a celebrity radio DJ for my first career. I knew when I was 14, long before anybody talked about the law of attraction, I was going to be a radio DJ. And I made it happen and I loved it. And I didn't realize until many years later that I was using my voice to hypnotize my listeners to come back day after day. Well, after I stopped my radio career, I had to reinvent myself. We had a medical crisis with my husband, and I had no career now. And Mike just crashed his lawnmower. Wait, I need to not be looking at that.
Yeah, don't distract yourself, beautiful, during your hypnosis state.
Okay. So I had to reinvent myself. And in 2001, so think about that. That was like, ooh, we were just starting to learn about the World Wide Web. I figured out I could go to school to be a life coach on the computer. So I was like, okay, this is great. But then I also learned, I got this nudge. I think I need to learn hypnosis. And the first day of the class, the skies opened, the angels were singing, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm meant to do. And I know a lot of people are scared. They hear hypnosis. And, there was a guy that I used to run into at the local networking groups here. And every time he'd see me, he'd go, watch out. She's going to make you bark like a dog or cluck like a chicken. And I realize now it's because he was scared, because he didn't understand what hypnosis is. So either of you ladies or somebody in the chat want to say what they think hypnosis is?
Well, I wouldn't say it was like quack like a duck or bark like a dog, but definitely, but yes, it would get you to a certain state where you're able to think clear. That's just what I thought.
Okay, so let me ask you, raise your hand if you've ever driven somewhere and you've gotten there and you don't remember the drive. Guess what? That's hypnosis. It's simply a focused state of awareness. So anybody who has kids, you're calling them, they don't hear you. They don't hear you. And it's not because, well, it's our mom voice and or dad voice and they don't want to hear us. It's literally they're so focused on it that they literally don't hear you. So hypnosis is simply a focused state of awareness. And, I've done hypnosis with both of you, whether you realize it or not, because I don't do this, okay. First of all, hypnosis is not sleep. It's not like you conk out and you have no idea what happened, right? I do conversational hypnosis because there's no need for all of this. I mean, there's hypnotists that, they put on the headphones and the lights and, all of that. No, let's just have a conversation. And I can weave conversationally things in where you're making changes. And it's like, wow, how'd that happen? And so it really isn't at all what they show on TV and the movies. And it's something that I've had to push up against because I've been doing this for 18 years. And I actually stopped talking about hypnosis for a while because of that guy that I would keep seeing. And that's my superpower. So I call myself an integrative hypnotist because it's hypnosis, it's coaching, it's all these different certifications I've taken over the past 20 plus years, all melded into one so that no matter what you're coming to me with, I know, oh, okay. So one of the very first things I learned was, and they have a tapping summit that's going on right now. If anybody knows, yep,
Tapping
tap,
Summit?
yep.
Oh my
They're
goodness. Tell
having
me a little bit more.
the Worldwide Tapping Summit, and it's called Emotional Freedom Techniques, and then Nick Ortner calls it tapping. So it's like acupuncture without needles, and it is phenomenal. This is the first technique I learned back in the 90s when I experienced insomnia. Medication failed. I was like, what do I do? And I learned from Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, this tapping technique, and I was able to sleep again. And I was able to start calming myself. And it was like, this is incredible. But at that point, I had done my last radio show, which is why I had the insomnia, because I was getting up at 3 in the morning. So I'm a stay-at-home mom at that point, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, you can just do this and it can help you. And I was watching people's eyes just glaze over. So now it's more commonly accepted, but it's absolutely, yeah, EMDR is they're very similar to it. So it's a self-guided approach. You don't have to call to make an appointment with the acupuncturist, then wait a couple of days. When you're in the middle of something and you're freaking out, you need relief right now. And so that's what I've studied now for over 20 years. And that's how the book got born, right? I never planned on writing a book.
Yes.
I'm a radio DJ, right?
No.
But there's
Right.
35 simple techniques because if I only knew tapping, there have been people that are like, I'm not into that, right? So, oh, okay, that doesn't work for you. Let's go do this instead.
Wanted to interject really quick, if you allow me. It's because a lot of individuals are they keep mentioning anxiety, 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 anxiety. Like that's a word that I see multiple times in one day. A lot of people are going through that in their daily lives. A lot of individuals are going through that because of the massive layoffs, trauma that they're, whether it's physical, intellectual, psychological, whatever baggage it is that we're carrying around, right? Anxiety is always playing in our lives. So I know that that's exactly what you help individuals combat, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word, through techniques that you have, right? Through different expertises that you've been pulling from as a podcaster, as an international author, right? Having so many years, 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, 18 years in
18.
radio. Yes. So what one approach can you tell individuals like, hey, there is a way to get out of this? Calm that chaos that you have. So what would you say?
Okay, the easiest thing to do, and if everybody would just follow along with me, it is so simple. As you breathe in, think, I'm breathing in. As you breathe out, think, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. It's that simple. Like literally, it's that simple. If you and it's about building up the habits of these practices. It's not doing it once and then, oh, that's it. Trust me, I still experience anxiety. As long as we're breathing, we're going to experience anxiety. But that's taking us into the future. And depression is taking us into the past. So what we want to do is to keep coming into the present moment. And our breath is always with us. So that's I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out is absolutely the simplest thing. Yeah, excellent, Mike. Yeah, it does work. So when we come to our breath, and I have tons of breath exercises that I share. Do we have time? Can I share another really quick breath exercise?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So another one of the many certifications I have is as a certified yoga teacher. And we were talking about this earlier, that, we've got to be flexible, right? Okay, this was, kind of short notice. Oh, great. Okay, let's be flexible. I really live flexibility, not just on my mat, but in life. So this is where I learned in yoga what I'm going to share with you. And you may know this. And I'll invite you, even if you already know it, to come to it like with a beginner's mind. Like, oh, maybe I could glean something different. So I want you to think about a situation or event that happened that caused you to get stressed or anxious or frustrated or angry this week. And we drag that stuff with us, right? So you can think about it now, and you can still get in touch with it. As you're feeling it right now, rate it 1 to 10 and just tuck that in the back of your head. And we're going to do something called square breathing, right? I'm going to guide you through this, and you can either trace a square. I'm going to do it in the air so you can see it. You can trace it if you're in front of a table. You can trace it on your leg. So breathe with me and breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And now let your breath come back to its natural rhythm without feeling like you have to change it in any way or control it. And revisit that situation you were thinking about just a moment ago and notice what the number is now. And Syya and Raquel, it went from what to what?
Yes, it definitely, the number was lower. Yes.
Legit. It
Yes.
Yeah.
legit.
And
You
so
know,
if it doesn't go down as far as you want or doesn't go away, do a couple more rounds of that. The trick to that is we've spent our whole lives. We breathe in, we breathe out, we breathe in, and now we're going, oh, I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to hold it. So it's what we call a pattern interrupt. So it's that pattern interrupt. We're interrupting the stress syndrome. And best of all, we are stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest, digest, and relax nervous system, which is like a cozy down blanket. And who's going to feel anxiety when they're wrapped up in a cozy down blanket?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I completely get it. You're right when you said it disrupts the normal patterns, right? Because we're so used to just breathing and we don't think about it. We really
Right.
don't. Once you become aware and you are attuned and in tune with your breathing, it really elevates that game of actual relaxation. So I know I'm working with you, and it's been extremely life changing to me because I'm more aware of my present. I'm more aware of certain triggers, right, that will send me down that spiral of anxiety or slight panic. And the tools that you've actually given me have been like, okay, disrupt that thought, and send Olga packing, right?
Yes. Okay. Do you want to share who Olga is?
Oh my God. Okay. I can't believe
All right.
Olga
You
actually is
open
going to
that
make it.
door, my friend.
Okay. So Olga is the person or that voice that is always being a negative Nancy. I call her Olga just because it reminds me of being like an ugly ogre. So whenever that Olga pops up in my head, I send her packing. We're very colorful words.
Okay.
The
So
colorful word choices.
I will make sure that this is PG. So everybody who's on here, we all have that negative voice. We all have that negative voice because we are wired with this negativity bias that 100 people can say, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. And one person comes and that's the voice we listen to. So I really suggest each of you give your negative voice a name, and not a nice one. And, I've never heard anybody come up with a really sweet, nice voice, a name for their voice. And then when he or she starts up, shut the up, Olga. And it really is a nice pattern interrupt, isn't it?
It really does. And no offense to any Olgas who may be in the comment or Olgas out there. I have a lovely, lovely friend whose name is or Olga. So I love you guys. But yes, it's just one of those names that really, really just jumped out at me. So and it works. That's the bottom line of it is that it has helped me to silence that negativity, right? That is just about to cloud my mind and it's not going to let me do whatever it is that I got to get done that day, right? So it really has helped. And it's funny, it's comical.
And the laughter, right? Everybody laughs when they do this. Everybody laughs. And when we laugh, it triggers our body to produce dopamine and serotonin, which are the happy hormones. So we don't have to be looking outside of ourselves to get that. We can do things like that, like gratitude, that stimulate us to naturally build these happy hormones inside of ourselves.
I
Yes,
love
yes,
it.
absolutely. Hey, Sia, they're saying Sia, it's the name. Did you
I
see
know,
that?
freaking. That's why I just laughed at my freaking Dean. Stephanie had a wonderful point. And you just made me distracted, and that's right. I live in your brain for free, right,
Oh,
Mike? That's right.
oh my gosh.
That's what
But
I'm
it's
doing.
Sia. So Olga is mine. Do you have a name for your negative Nancy there?
I've never had one before, but I was like, you know what? I do say "son of a sea cook," so I think sea cook, like, that whole saying is an inside joke, but I do say that quite a bit, and it does calm me. Like, I'm like, "You need to leave. The son of a sea cook needs to leave."
Yeah,
Right.
so
It's reclaiming your power.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I
I'm
love
curious
that.
to see people in the chat and the comments. Please chime in to the name of that you give your negative Nancy's. In my case is Olga, right? But we all have one of those. We all have that one little voice that is always trying to detract us from completing whatever it is that we're supposed to complete there, beating us down, and they could be quite vicious, I must say.
Yeah, and you're finding how quick, how easy, right? And I'm not asking you to do anything that's heavy lifting because in our society, we think that to make any kind of success, any kind of changes, that, oh, we have to really muscle down. We have to work so hard at it. And I'm not asking you to do anything that's hard, am I?
No,
No,
Right?
you're not.
It's
it's
all very
actually
simple.
it's so basic that it's overlooked, right? Like, people just think, "Oh, I should just naturally breathe," but again, intentionality. That's why I love hearing more about you and reading this book. Like, seriously, like, it's been so enlightening, and anyone that knows me personally knows this is not my path to, like, I'm not that kind of person typically, but this really helped. So anyone that ever has any stress right now, it's easy reading. It's not rocket science. It's really thoughtful, intentional. I mean, um jump off the what if train. I'm guilty of that this week, actually. So helpful.
Well, and I think we all go through that. We all go through, "Oh my gosh, what if, what if, what if?"
Hmm.
And, oh, what if you instead thought, "What if it all works out?" There's a
Yeah.
concept, huh?
The one that really struck a chord with me was Return to Sender. That one was good.
Ooh,
Ooh,
return
child.
to sender. I like
Now
that
I'm
one.
hearing Elvis in my head, right? But return to sender. Like, we don't have to accept the negative stuff that is being thrown at us. We can just, return to sender. And these are so simple. And because they're so simple, I think it was, Sia, that you just said, people can kind of overlook them. And I know I mentioned that, in places where I say, don't let the simplicity fool you, and don't say, oh, well, it's so simple, it can't work. With the book, there's 35 techniques. And I don't know if either of you have noticed, the techniques are in alphabetical order because the book is only a little over 100 pages for a reason. If I hand you a 400-page book, you're going to be overwhelmed. Like, I'm never going to read it. But when you have this thin book, and then I say, oh, by the way, you don't even have to read the whole thing. Just read the 2 very short chapters at the beginning, and then look through the table of contents, find 2 or 3 that work. And then here's the key: you have to take action, right? If you think about it, Michael Gale, doing 35 miles. And I'm not really sure what this Berkey thing is, but it was about him, doing cross country skiing for 35 miles. Well, he didn't just strap on a pair of cross country skis one day, go, around the block and then say, oh, yeah, I'm ready for a 35-mile Berkey. He practiced and practiced and practiced. And so anytime you want to learn anything, you have young kids, some of you. Oh, you're teaching them the habit of brushing their teeth. You don't teach them one time and they're brushing their teeth all the time, right? So these techniques, they work, but only if you action them. And I've had a couple of people, oh, this is so amazing. If I can grab this picture real quick. This is one of my favorite pictures to show.
I love that. I love that picture.
My clients. Sarah came to me, and let me hold this back. It's kind of hard to see. She's about to skydive out of an airplane. Well, Sarah came to me when she was 19 with her crippling fear of flying. She was not going on her family vacation. I saw that on Facebook that one morning, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, then she went on to build a very successful business as the 5-foot traveler. I kid you not. This woman, she was a girl when I worked with her. So when just about 3 years ago now, when the pandemic hit worldwide, somebody that we both know reached out to me and said, you know what, she's stranded half the world away from her family. Can you reach out and touch base with her? And I checked in on her and I said, how are you doing? Now, first of all, she was quarantined in this beautiful chalet in like Switzerland or something. It was, if you're going to be quarantined, but we're in this pandemic, the shock of everything. She's halfway around the world. I check in with her and she goes, oh, actually, I'm doing pretty good because I still use the techniques you taught me. It's because they work. I had a 23-year-old young woman come to me last summer saying, I don't know if you remember me, you helped me with my fear of flying 10 years ago. And when I did this specific technique where I ask, now that I don't see people in person anymore, I ask you to get like a stone or something to remind you to do this certain technique that I do with each client. And she said, oh, I don't need to go find something. She picks it up. She says, I still have the rock you gave me 10 years ago. So I share that because these things work if you work them. And I don't even really love using work because that sounds like it's heavy and hard. If you just practice them again and again and again, there's very few things that I can say I promise or I guarantee with the work that I do, but I do promise and I do guarantee if you find a couple of things of these techniques that work for you and you use them again and again and again, your life will change.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
I knew nothing about the tapping and I do it naturally. Like if I'm like with my brain when it goes on fire, like I just sit back and I just kind of do this naturally. And
Syya, you might want to use 2 fingers.
But what's funny? I think I did it more often than I realized because granted I do like my chocolate, but I do get zits here quite a bit. So I'm wondering if I'm tapping it more often than not realizing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love it.
Well,
like find a technique that works, right? Like because it's not going to be a one size fits all thing. I think it's got to be like what works for you, right? Because you have to believe in it, right? You got to have faith in it.
Well, and the thing about the believing in it is I don't ask you to believe in hypnosis. I ask you to believe in yourself. And do you believe that you have the ability inside of you to learn something new that might help you? Everybody's going to say yes, because we all have experienced many times in our lives where like, all right, we were introduced to something that we didn't know about before. And then, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I'm not like, okay, if you don't believe in hypnosis, don't believe in hypnosis. Can we have a conversation? And then I'm conversationally working hypnosis in.
And I definitely want to, that just say yes in the conversation, how you're weaving in that calm, that chaos that we have internally, but you always manage to pull out that calm within the storm. And it's so simple that sometimes you're like, that was it? Like, really? I'm like, oh my gosh, you go back to that. And I remember the one trick that you told me, right, was just go
Oh,
back to that, right? Go back to that. And I already do it. It's just I go there and it automatically just clicks in my brain and I'm like, you got this. You got this. So it's ingrained.
All
I don't
right,
know if it's a word.
can we follow up on you got this? Another little thing that I would share with everybody, and this is not mine, and 99% of what I share is not from me. It's that, I take a little bit from here, a little bit from there through all the years I've been. This is from Mel Robbins, who has the number one podcast in the world right now. She's just on fire. If you want to listen to an amazing woman, she's it. She wrote this book called The High Five Habit. And so raise your hands if you brush your teeth every morning. Hopefully, most of the people watching this just raise their hands, right? So we have this habit. So when we're done brushing our teeth, look in the mirror, look at yourself, and high five the mirror. And if you can, say, I love you. For a lot of people, that's tough and that's scary. So if that's not comfortable, high five the mirror and say, you got this. Do that
Yes.
for the next 7 mornings. Like, just make a commitment to yourself that just for 7 days, we can do anything for 7 days, that for the next 7 mornings, you get done brushing your teeth and you high five yourself in the mirror and you say, I love you. Or if that's not okay, you got this. And then check in with yourself after 7 days. And some of you buddy up. I know you know each other on a lot of people in the chat. Buddy up with somebody else for the next 7 days. Hey, did you do your high five? Hey, did you do your high five? And then check in after 7 days and notice what's changed. It's really powerful.
I know what you're feeling, Sia, because I was there. So I saw Sia. I know how she's feeling. I promise you, I cried with Stephanie. Like it was like waterworks, and I was like, Stephanie, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? And it gets you. You know why? Because that's you really recognizing that you are that individual that has always been there, but for some reason, life gets in the way. Anxiety gets the best of us. Panics, right? Trauma, and we just need to get out of our own way and come out. So I know when she got me that first day, I was just like, oh my God, I was doing the ugly cry and it was not pretty. Glad I wasn't
did
wearing that
I?
much makeup.
Okay,
And did
look,
I
people.
just sit here with arms wide open, like a big hug, saying, okay, let it out, right?
Well, I gotta tell you, Stephanie, when I first met you, I was like, Raquel, I know you who you need to talk to because you know what? I think there are I think buddying up like it for the right person for the right time. And it doesn't have to be the same person to buddy up with. And I think I would like to caution people on that too is you have a community, this connection corner, this everyone in the chat, by the way, I can confidently say if some one of us is like in a mood, I bet you if you just text and said I'm in a mood, you'll get 10, 15 people say I'm here. What's up? Like to help you, right? Because
Yes.
heaven knows I am not the mushy kind. And so when I told her to call you, I go, Raquel, you're going to cry with her, but it's going to be such a good cry. You're going to feel so good about yourself. And the next thing I know, I hear nothing from her. And then I'm like, dude, are you okay? She's like, I bawled the entire time. So
It's so true. True story, y'all. But you know what? Those were liberating freedom tears. Those
yes.
were it just took this burden off of me that I've been walking around for years. That I've been walking around with that thing for years and I was just like, I can breathe. I can breathe again. And it was liberating. I think that's the best word that I can use to describe it. So in your book, let's talk about a little bit about your book, right? You do offer the 35 techniques there, but and you share 5 of them in this post that we made the other day. But if you want to go ahead and pop those up really quick so that we can go ahead and make sure that she gets that information out to the audience. But
Yeah.
everybody out in the audience, always make sure that you connect with Stephanie. Follow her. Her content is so zenny. Seriously. Every time she talks, it's like watch her videos, but every time she talks, it really snaps you into that zen zone. It really grounds you. It's like liberating and grounding. If that makes
Thank you,
sense.
because that is what I wanna do. That is my purpose, is to be that beacon of light, brilliant beam, Yes, to be that beacon of light, to show that we can keep our balance, right? So, Sia is this brilliant beam, and Raquel, you are also a brilliant beam. You know that, right? But so when part of being a brilliant beam is being that lighthouse and saying, oh, here's the shoals, let me show you how to get around that. And not that you're going to go 300 miles out of your way. Let me show, for me, it's, oh, let me show you a very simple way to just scoot right around that. And then I can tell you this all started out of my own struggles with anxiety. I didn't realize for the first 35 years of my life that I had struggled with anxiety because that's all I knew, right? I thought it was normal to walk around with my shoulders like earrings and to worry. We talked what if earlier. I would always be, what if? And it was always the worst case scenario. My husband would go on a business trip and I'd be like, what if the plane crashes and he dies? And oh my gosh, what would I do? Like, what a waste of time. And my husband, we're coming up on 40 years of marriage, and he would always say, 95% of what you worry about doesn't happen. So just stop it. Well, that wasn't real helpful, but he was right.
Yes, and we do tend to do that to ourselves. It's like we're so masochistic, right? Because we worry about things that haven't even happened. And like you said, 90% of the time or 95% of the time, they probably won't happen. So why is it that we default automatically to that? Could you, I know
Yeah,
we touched upon that, but I would
it's
like,
literally because we are still wired, our brains are still wired the same way we were when we lived in caves. So when we lived in caves, we had to be aware if there was going to be an animal or something that was going to come after us, right? So we were wired to look for that negativity. Something I just learned recently. This is so interesting that when you come on Zoom, within the first 10 seconds, you want them to see your hands. Why? Because when we lived in the caves, we saw somebody coming towards us, we had to look to their hand to see, were they extending it in friendship or were they coming with a club to beat us? So we are wired to look for the negatives. And now, negativity. We have these saber-toothed tigers that we used to be afraid of in the caves. We have these saber-toothed tigers everywhere, right? It's all danger, danger, danger. And so it is absolutely incumbent upon us to recognize, oh, this is the wiring, but we can rewire our brains. And I don't want to go too much into that because I used to be the person who I'd hear brain research and I'd be like, right?
Yeah.
But now I understand it, so I can touch on it just enough to say, okay, I'm not just pulling this stuff out of the air. Our brains are wired for this. So we have these habitual patterns, Well, when we start doing these other things, these little simple techniques that I'm sharing, when we start doing those again and again and again, we start building these different neural pathways, and that becomes our more normal behavior. So it doesn't happen, sometimes, oh my gosh, sometimes I see miracles in one session. Usually I see much better results with multiple sessions. And that's because, just like when we were in elementary school, we didn't go into kindergarten and learn our ABCs and then, oh, now it's time to learn algebra, right? There was a progression and we had to do that. So I'm not saying that it's a long journey to go from panic attacks to calm. It's not. There's somebody on here who has said that, she's working with me and she was having panic attacks. There is another woman. Do I have her picture here? Yep. This beautiful woman, and I love a lot of my clients have dogs. Some people have cats, but I've noticed most of my clients have animals, right? So Kristen, and I have total permission from her to use that picture and to share her story. She had struggled with panic attacks, anxiety attacks, insomnia, unexplained physical symptoms for 1 year before she started working with me. I can't imagine how painful that had to be for her, not just emotionally, but physically. After our first session, she started sleeping again. After a few more sessions, she hasn't had a panic attack now for over a year. That's freedom. That's why the book is called Goodbye Anxiety, Hello Freedom, because I
Oh
want
my
you to
gosh.
experience that freedom.
And let me tell you, boy, have I experienced that. It's just like I just let all that out. And then just like the picture you have back there, it's like, I'm out, right? It's just, it's so beautiful. Tell the audience a little bit about that picture in the back. It's just so beautiful.
So this is beautiful. It is a raven with a third eye. So it's kind of hard to see in the picture, though. A friend gave me that. It's actually a shawl, and she gave it to me to wear on stage to remind me and the audience to spread your wings and fly. And so I was like, well, this is pre-pandemic. I was like, all right, I'm not going to see it all that often. So what if I turn it into a wall art? And now, the past 3 years, it's all been exclusively online. So every time I get online, whether it's one-on-one with a client or with a situation like this, I'm subconsciously giving you that message to spread your wings and fly. And you know, the blue, the blue, the blue. There's a reason for it. And Syya asked me, I'm actually wearing a different shirt than you
I
usually see me
noticed.
in. Oh, you do? Because Syya was like, how many of those shirts do you have? I said, I have 10 because it's my uniform. I'm always in blue and it's intentional because all the colors have energetic signatures. Blue is calming, it's tranquil. Green is great for helping overcome frustration and anger. Pink is the color of unconditional love. And I can always tell when I'm doing an exercise with my clients, and that I don't tell you what color, I have you come up with the color as you're coming from your higher self. I can always tell when somebody gets black because they go like this, except for Syya. Sia's like, oh, I love black. But Syya understands it because black, people think, oh, dark night of the soul, it's not a good color. Black is the color of strength and protection. Who wouldn't want that?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And then you and I, we love the same color. So I love my blue. That's my soul color. So it's like I'm instantly gravitating to that, right? But oh my gosh. I know we could go for hours and hours on end talking. Stephanie, we've been out here for quite some time and you've shared so many wonderful tips with the audience. I want to give you a chance for them to know how to get a hold of you, how to reach you, where to find you. Could you please let us know that?
Find me on LinkedIn, Stephanie Dalfonzo, real simple. My website is stephaniedalfonzo.com. Hopefully, you have that link queued up to get my free download of 5 of the techniques from my book. And this is where I have a big ask for you. I am doing something really big next month in April. I am finally launching a live cohort class through Maven. If you haven't heard about Maven, oh my gosh, they are on track to their goal is to become the #1 educational live platform in the world. And so I'm going to be launching my Calm and Confident You class next month. If you would go to that link and thank you for putting that in there. If you go
Mhm.
to that link, you'll get the 5 techniques and you'll be helping me because whether you're interested in the class or not, you'll get on the wait list. And when I get 100 people on the wait list, I will get massive exposure from Maven and it will help me to help others. And that is what this is about. It's not about, my ego and, let me get these numbers. It's not that.
Mhm.
It's if you put your name in there and I hit the 100 people on that, then they showcase me and we get to share this. And,
Yes.
this whole community, thank you, Mike Ashebrainer, a rising tide raises all ships. So again, I'm not asking you to, do any heavy lifting. Just go to that, get the Calm and Confident guide. It's actually really good, and I'm not saying that from an ego perspective, but it's just 5 simple techniques. And then, you'll just get on the wait list and, no pressure. If it's for you, great. And if not, it will help me to get the word out to others. So I would really say thank you so much for doing that for me.
Oh, no, no problem. So, and this is the power of the community. Like I said, it's always word of mouth. What you have is just, it's so unique. And I know it comes from a place of love. And that's why you and I vibed really well. That's why you are an integral part of our community and one of our newest members of the pack. So I know that what you have is special and will help change people's lives. So, everybody out in the comments and in the audience, and those who are going to be watching in the replay, she needs about 100 individuals to sign up for this and be on the wait list to be in order to be able to expand her reach and help people's lives, make them better, deal with anxiety. We all go through all of that. Okay, so I haven't yet met a single person that says, "Oh yeah, no, I don't know how. I don't deal with that." Everybody does. It's
Can I
normal.
just get one more thing in? I know
Sure.
that we need to be wrapping this up, but I usually forget to talk about this, and it's so important. When you buy my book, the paperback, not the Kindle, when you actually buy the paperback book, one book gets donated to a school organization that will teach some of these techniques to kids, teens, and young adults. And I get emotional about this because I've said for years, long before I read the book, I need to be in schools teaching this. And no, it's not for me to be in the schools teaching it. But these past 3 years, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here. These past 3 years have really been tough on our kids, teens, and young adults. I have a friend whose 14-year-old stepdaughter had a failed suicide attempt recently, and it's they need our help. And so teaching these, if you are new to these techniques, you're going to want to, oh, I want to go teach them to my kids. Take a couple of weeks, get them into your routine, then help your kids. Just like they say on the airplanes, put the oxygen mask on first. But know that if you buy the book, it's spreading out. And thank you, Kristen, it's helped both of her teenage daughters. If you buy the actual paperback book, you're spreading the goodness out there. So thank you.
Oh, no, no. I didn't know that part. But thank you so much for adding that. And of course, we want to be able to spread the goodness. We want to be able to help as many lives as we can and impact the world in a positive way. That's what we're all about. And
Yep.
that's what we're sitting here. That's why we're here. And that's what fundamentally it goes back to what this community is built around. So I thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh. Am I seeing that someone scanned the QR code? Like, is that popping up? Oh my God.
Yay!
Multiple people did some
Ah!
dancing. I'm like, "Oh, scan the QR code." It's a new feature, everyone. I was trying to be subtle about it, but I thought
I
I
didn't
I
know.
I thought I could move it around. So sorry, Stephanie. Here, I'll cover my
Oh,
face. There you go. There you
no,
go.
you're fine.
No, so
Yay!
did you see
That's
that? So I guess it,
exciting.
it happens real life. Like when somebody scans a QR code, it pops up, like it says it on the live.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yay, guys. I am so excited. Please, please support. This is such an amazing cause. And I just want to be able to, give as much as we can, spread that love, right? It comes in so many different forms. Spread that joy, spread your kindness, right? And like I said, we're talking as adults, but our children also do suffer with these things. Societal pressures, right? Peer pressures are real, right? We're
Yes.
talking about kids getting bullied, kids. There's so many ways and avenues we could take this conversation to, but I know for the sake of the time, I know we have to wrap it up. But Stephanie, I would love to have you back,
Thank
hopefully in a few months,
you. I
and
love you. I love you guys.
see the outreach, right? That what's been happening, how many lives have been impacted, just because this is an ongoing thing. We
Yeah.
need all the love that we can spread. We need all the kindness, and we can spread all the joy and all the juju, as she always says. Sia says juju is like the good vibes, right? Spread them out and spread your wings, right? Yeah. What is that? Choose
Choose
joy.
joy.
Choose joy
Yes, that's just
always.
choose joy always. But any parting words that you like to say, any parting messages that you like to say, Stephanie?
If you are new to any of this and it feels overwhelming, start small. Just find one technique that I shared today or that you get in the download. Just find one and practice it and action it and action it. And again, buddy up with somebody on the call for the next 7 days. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing, whether it's the high five habit or one of the other ones. Start small and then build up. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Amen. Wow, guys, you have it. There you heard it firsthand. I hope that Stephanie has brought the calm amongst the chaos. And so thank you so much, Stephanie, for being here. I love you. I'm
Mm.
eternally grateful to you and all the help you've given me. And see, now my kitty's he's like, I feel you, mommy. He's like, I'm here. He feels the good energy. So he's like, I'm here, mommy. I love it. Animals are so good, right? With that.
That's one of the techniques. Pet your pet.
He's like, come, pay attention to me because he feels a good energy. So thank you for being here. Hang out in the back for a little bit while we wrap up, okay?
All
I
right.
love
Love
you.
you. Mwah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Ah, it's like deep breathe
You know,
out, in and out.
like, look, I don't know of anyone that doesn't like absolutely love talking to Stephanie. You know what I mean? Like, it is just one of those things. Uh, like I knew it'd be a great show. I would like sit in the back,
Of
like reading
course.
comments. Like, I was having a blast by myself back here. So,
It's just like
um,
her voice. It's so ethereal, so regal. I don't even know how to describe it, but she just sends me into that mood. I'm just like,
you know, it's a thing. And I was gonna say it, and I probably like I don't know if I look, people. If there's a way that we could help people, but also have some fun with it, but also enjoy it, like, so Stephanie, you should do the ASMR thing. It is hugely popular right now, and you've got the voice for it.
oh my God, does she have the
Could you
voice?
imagine her just like
Oh my gosh.
you should really do like a YouTube series of your book of some of the exercises and like just I mean,
Yes.
girl, let's talk about it because I'll produce it because I think it would be some bad ASS action. I think people would enjoy listening to it and playing it for their children or whomever needs it. Like,
Yes. Yes. They could actually, like, this could be a family thing. Like, I could already see it and picture it just because she
yes.
knows she does believe a lot in that integrating all members of the family. And this is something that I did talk to her about because, my oldest one, I'll say it, I'll share that she suffers with some of the stuff. She gets bullied at school sometimes. So it just creates all this anxiety for her. So we're finding ways to really integrate these methods in a way that children will be able to digest it and absorb it and actually start applying them. So Stephanie, thank you so much for what you're doing. You're amazing. We love you, and we are so honored to have you as being part of this community. So, any last shout outs that we want to give before we wrap it up? I always do. I
You know,
always
we always
do.
have to have we always have to have an action item of sorts. So I'm thinking is if people are really serious about this and we're really serious about
Yes.
again growing our connection and community, right? Why don't we challenge the audience, the people in the chat, find someone to buddy up with for 7 days and do an exercise and
Mhm.
keep us abreast of the situation. And the two that actually say next week, hell yeah, we did it. And like, I don't know if you
Mhm.
want to do a screenshot or like selfie or whatnot or text messages. We just need to be honest, honor system. I think we should give.
Accountability.
I think we should give them a prize. Like I'm willing to, Brilliant Bee Media is willing to sponsor the two that pair up and actually complete it. Let's you will get a
Okay.
reward with a book. Let's do
Yes.
this. So
I'm
for
on to
those that
that.
are into it, and we'll pick the winners and we'll go from there. So everyone, find a buddy that you trust that you can do this with for 7 days. Come back to us and like literally DM me, DM Raquel, and let's
Yeah.
make this happen. We'll send you guys a book because this is bad ASS stuff, guys. I firmly believe it.
It really is. And that's why I keep saying, like, it has been life changing to me in the short amount of time that I've had it. I was like, I adore Stephanie, and I know she has a gift and that it will be just amazing to impact so many people's lives, right? So, buddy up, right? Accountability for 7 days and come back next week and let us know. And hey, we'll pick a winner and they'll get a pair of books, right? Yeah, a pair of books. So, at the beginning, I asked a question to the audience. I won't forget,
Oh
just want to make
yes.
sure. Where am I originally from? Right?
Okay. We
The
put the question.
hounds don't count. The hounds don't count. You guys are out of no, 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 no hounds, no nest,
No.
no hounds because you guys know my story. So, where am I originally from? All right. So, I know we got a couple of guesses. And
Wait,
so I will go back into the comments to choose the first person who guessed it right, who's not a hounds. Okay. I
girl.
did see the person. It was a gentleman. So I am originally from the smallest country in Central America, roughly the size of Massachusetts, El Salvador. So, yay! If you haven't never met a Salvadoran, well, here you got them. So, yes, it's a beautiful country. Learn a little bit more about it, and yeah, if you'd like to know a little bit more about it, hit me up, and maybe we can schedule a coffee chat. Okay.
Okay, who was it, girl? Because I
It
can't go.
was a gentleman, David. I believe his name was David. I should have written it down, but I was so busy
Oh,
enthralled.
girl.
Yes,
We're
but yes,
failing
I'll get
miserably
it.
at our own contest. You know that, right? Like we're failing
It's
so
all
miserably.
good.
Well,
I'll
I
reach
was
out
trying to,
to David.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to reach out because right now in my chat overlays, it doesn't go that far back in time.
It's all good. I get you, girl. But anyhow, so man, I tell you, I feel so just relaxed. I don't know, just listening to Stephanie. I could listen to her all day long. She came, she walked on the cloud, she came in this program, and she calmed that chaos. And I really do hope that the audience actually benefited from her, from her being here, from to learning some techniques, taking away something home, because anxiety it does display in different manners. And some of us don't want to talk about it, but it's a general thing. We all go through it. So don't be shy, right?
Yeah, I think we underestimate our the people that are willing to give you time and support. And it's so critically important right now to know that even strangers will be here for you. So if maybe it's too close and emotional, then go chat with a stranger, guys. So, or if it's a fellow hound, and for those that don't know what that means, the Hounds of Business, it is a pack that it's a community, quite frankly,
Mm-hmm.
of us pack leaders, and it's really about mutual growth, support. All ships rise with the tide. It's one of my favorite sayings that I've
Mm-hmm.
totally bastardized, but all ships rise with, I don't know, it's fucking freaking tone. But anyway, um, find a community. If it's not us per se, or if you want to join our community, by all means, just let us know. We truly believe it's about supporting one another. So if you're looking just for likes and follows, we're not that kind of community. So just want to be very clear on that, guys. This is about deeper relationships, and a huge component of that, and why we care about your mental wellness and well-being, is because we all want to be well and happy together.
Bam, drop. I'd like drop that mic, girl. Mic drop. Let's go. No, for real though, but you did hit a point that is extremely crucial in this. If you're in it just for the vanity metrics, this is not it, right? We're heart, and I mean that, and that's why I think that sets us apart. This communities, it's just stepping in a different direction because we really genuinely collaborate, we connect, and we revolutionize. I That's just the way I see it, and we know we really make things happen, and to everybody's benefit in that sense that everybody will benefit because we'll nurture and we're encouraging. Like CSS, if one of us is having a down day, the only thing that we need to do is says, hey, you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm not having a great day. And watch, 15 people will reach out and say, what do you need? What can I do for you? And it's all genuine. And I promise you, there's not any other community out there who's doing that same thing. And I can vouch for that. So I love you guys, Kevin, Michelle. Thank you so much for sticking around. Sandra, again, I love you. Good luck. And hopefully a recruiter will reach out to you. Hang in there, sweetheart. Do not lose hope. Do not despair. We will get you. We'll rally around you. Okay. So anybody in the UK who's a recruiter, please reach out to Sandra. Love you guys. But anyhow, Syya, as always, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this for me and Mike Asherbranner and the Hounds. I love you guys. Every single day I wake up and I tell you, I am blessed. I am lucky. And I will always be eternally grateful to each and every one of you. Okay. So I love you all. Go out there and make the world a better place, one smile at a time, one connection at a time. Be blessed, guys. See you next week. Thanks for joining us, and I hope our chat inspired you to make a new connection. Please like and subscribe, and let's build a great community in our little corner where we get serious business done by injecting fun. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, come back to Raquel's Connection Corner.